Hey, party people. Welcome back to the Split Party Podcast. This is going to be episode... For me, it's marked as 26B, but it's going to be episode 8B.
I was going to say that's way off.
Yeah, that's because this is session 26 for us. It's actually like session 38 for me, but it's like session 26 for this side of the split, which comes down to 8B. If you are not following us on social media yet, this is probably your billionth invitation now to come follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We post our NPC spotlights there. So if you're not on our Discord, then you can still read like little snippets from the NPCs and see their character art, as well as follow us on Twitter. That's where we post a lot of our Tailspire images if you want. But if you want one hub where you can just see everything, join Discord. It'll be the place that'll keep you up to date on uploads, encounter images, NPC spotlights. You'll get to read blurbs about the cast and their players or their characters, and you can just hang out with us, get to know us, and ask us any questions that you might have. On top of that, we also are on YouTube, so if you prefer to listen to us on YouTube, you can subscribe to us on there. And if you like what you're listening to, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on whatever platform that you're on, or give us a review, or you know, any of that stuff. We would really appreciate it, and it would help us a lot. It would go a long way. With that being said, I think we're pretty much good to get into the recap, and then after that, I'm going to gently touch over where we left off, where the players were individually where we left off, and then we're going to get right into it, and it's all them. So, Seeler, 33rd of Stivos, 301st year of Darkreign, 4 days before Darkreign. Early morning surrounded by roaring flames. The look in Thorgrim's eyes said not that he blamed them. It said not that he held malice against them. They said that he understood and that their actions were not their own. The same understanding that the mother and father gave their child as he stood over their carved bodies. The understanding that the elder man held for his daughter as she left him to burn in his home. The beast was the root of all betrayal in the Western Middlelands. But why was it here? Why did it tread in Astoya? Each and every story told them that it belonged in the Burok and would roam there and only there. Clearly, the stories had fibbed, or were just wrong. It must have been the first field raid in many years, as the Northmen had begun leaving their wounded and broken. In shame and terror from the actions of themselves and one another, they fled. Lifelong brothers brought to the blade by their most trusted allies. The beast was gone now, but not the actions he forced. They would linger, just as his antler did crash down onto the peak of Castelor's mound. And forth from the smoke and steam sauntered a figure of bone, sinew, muscle, and maleficence. Kiril, messenger for Tormach. And so where we resume, both Gabriel and Rubin are there, kind of in the open. All of the Northmen have just been instructed to retreat. Clans turned on each other, like people within the same clan turned on each other, people who grew up with one another. The city had just been plunged into chaos and neighbors slaughtering each other, burning down their own homes, stuff like that. And a couple of you even fell to the influence of the beast and joined in on the chaos. When Rubin had finally called down kind of like a comet that struck the beast and broke off one of his antlers, bringing it tumbling down to the middle of the city, the beast disappeared. And kind of not really sure what to do, everyone in a sour mood. Tamacti was headed for the gate, and you two, both Gabriel and Rubin, were there when Kiril started sauntering out from the smoke and steam. I suppose that's where we resume. And the last thing that Kiril said when he came out from the smoke and steam was, "That's my little wolf." In kind of comment to Rubin, who he had previously told not to be the sheep. Then Rubin came into the city and started slaughtering people.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, pretty rough.
Yeah, that did happen. Not gonna deny that.
All right then. How far are they, the two, from me? Like, I don't know, like where they're standing compared
Rubin's
to where I am.
Pretty close to you, maybe like 10 feet away. Tamacti probably about 30 feet away, nearing the walls. The Northmen are like fleeing and heading out. One thing I've noticed when we get into Tailspire, if we do get into Tailspire, you'll notice a distinct lack of like NPC tokens everywhere. That's just because I didn't want to.
There would be like hundreds
so
of
many
them.
that it would just get messy
and probably lag the computers again. So
yeah, so you
fair
can
enough.
probably assume that there's like an NPC within 30 feet of you at all times, like just a random Northman or a random like villager of Castelor. And
good.
there are bodies all over the ground.
And where is Kiril?
Kiril is coming down from a little bit of a higher ground, like a path leading up towards the center of the city, where like how it's all built on a mound, and he's about maybe 30 feet away from you guys, or well, you and Rubin.
Okay. I guess I'll look up towards. Actually, I'll probably wait for Rubin. I'll look towards Rubin, like as Kiril just called out to him. I have this incredulous look on my face of like, what the fuck happened?
Mm-hmm.
And Rubin by now is, pretty much on his hands and knees. The kind of Morningstar fighting chain just down on the ground in front of him. From the sudden exhaustion after whatever he just called forth. And is trying to muster his strength to stand again, but instead just looks towards Kiril, who he saw marching from the smoke, wordlessly.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Does Kiril look like he's gonna speak again? I don't know if he's coming down or he's staying up on those stairs.
He's still stepping down further and further and further.
By further, you mean closer to us?
Closer to you,
Okay.
yeah.
My bad.
In fact, he would actually walk past you if you don't stop him.
Well,
Past the two of us?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna stop him. I'm gonna put a hand on. Well, I don't know if he has a shoulder tag. I don't know what
He does. He has shoulders. And stuff like
Okay.
that. I can toss his art back into.
Yeah, I remember what he looks like now.
He does have a handout actually, I believe, in the
How tall is he?
like 7 feet maybe.
Okay.
Big dude. Okay, I'll look towards him like, you knew this was going to happen, did not you?
I didn't know this was going to happen. Do I welcome it though? Yes.
You could have warned us. We lost many men coming here.
That's of no consequence to me.
Well, it is to us.
He was like kind of like side-eye looking at you with his like milky white eyes, and lets out kind of like a chortle, like a gleeful one, and just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Do you mock me, demon? Do so again, I will separate your head from your body. See how your god likes you then.
Are you starting to raise your voice at this point?
Yeah, I am most definitely raising my volume.
Tamacti, probably alerted by the shouting, is going to turn around and look to see what Gabriel's shouting about.
You would see standing down there next to Gabriel, Kiril, and Rubin not far away, maybe about 2 arms lengths.
I'm just holding down his eyes at this point, even though he's not even like really looking at me.
My business now is not with you. You may unhand me.
I look down at Rubin. I don't unhand him for now.
He's managed to, get off his hands and knees and just onto one knee as he's scooping up the fighting chain again.
Where to now? Are you simply leaving Rubin?
I am not leaving Rubin, not yet. I just have some business to deal with.
What business?
He, his gaze kind of like stops side-eyeing you and drifts over towards Tamacti.
Tamacti at this point is going to begin, with sort of resolution in his eyes, begin walking over somewhat swiftly towards the group.
I believe that I heard something along the lines of memorial or a prayer from him.
I look towards Tamacti, I guess, following Kiril's gaze. I assume that's, because my character doesn't really know the gods or cares about them, so.
Are you going to stand in my way?
Well, it depends if your way is going to bring more of this wherever you go. In that case, maybe I will.
It will always. That is my purpose. As a follower of Tormok, your friend Rubin here knows all about this.
I looked to Rubin. I looked at the village or the city on fire.
Yeah, Rubin's not even looking at either of them.
Are you still on the ground?
He's still on a knee, but he's sort of canvassing around him,
Is that what you want, Rubin?
And the destruction of the city, and who's dead, who's alive.
At this point, Tamacti, I'd say that you weren't very far off, so you probably...
I'm gonna stop probably, we'll say 10 feet away. Did I hear him make the mention about Moriel?
Make a perception. There is like the roaring of flames and stuff like that, and you were kind of like out of like direct conversation range. But
that would be
I
a
think it's
17.
possible. A 17? I think that you probably heard at least the word Moriel in there somewhere. Like, you might not know the context, but you definitely picked up on it.
I stopped 10 feet away. Yes, foul one. Moriel is here.
Kiril looks around, up at the burning flames, down over it, corpses not far off.
That's very strange that you say that. I don't seem to see Moriel anywhere.
He is here, with me. Tamacti raises a hand and places it flat against his chest. And Gabriel and Rubin, you would see, I mean, I guess anyone would see really, as he pulls his hand away from his chest, you'd see that he had removed a gem from a sort of slot within his bandolier attached to his chest, and is now holding it in his hand by his side.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
What color is it? What kind of gem is it?
I don't know that we ever discussed what color the ones that I pre-purchased before I joined the campaign.
Oh,
I'll let you decide. Yeah. I'll let you decide then.
We'll say it's yellow.
Ooh, yellow. I like that.
Nice amberish yellow.
hell yeah.
What do you intend to do about my presence?
I intend on getting rid of you.
I see.
Well, that's not going to work.
I appreciate your frankness. And I'm going to cast Mortality on Kiril. Or attempt to.
Mortality. Kiril is going to... Kiril is going to cast Counterspell.
She?
It's going to be at 3rd level. So he has to...
He has to make a check for that, I think. His ability,
it's
whatever
it's
ability
10 plus
uses.
the spell's level.
Because Mortality is 5th level.
So, yeah. To pass, it would be 15 of... he just essentially rolls what he uses to cast spells, which I guess is Charisma? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Charisma. He rolled a 20.
Fuck.
Well, he swats it.
In response, he
Well, hold on.
like so you go to cast that spell and he raises a hand and like flicks it gently off to the side, and there's just like a space between Tamacti and Kiril where there's like a ripple, almost like heat waves just exploding out from a point, like an invisible spell just being dispelled. Do you do anything in response? You said hold on, Strider.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to try and cut off his goddamn hands.
Oh, okay.
He just said he was gonna kill my friend, so like, I'm killing him. There's no more peace anymore.
Okay, then it sounds like we're gonna go into Tailspire.
Sounds good.
Copy that.
Nobody's killing Tamacti on my watch. You crazy?
So that's kind of the placement we'll go with. Our listeners, you're going to get some encounter images from this scene, and they are going to be good. But one thing's for sure, this is like nighttime that this is happening. So let me just change the atmosphere of the...
It'll be in the Discord. Join the Discord. Shout out.
True. Okay, and I guess we roll initiative.
Mm-hmm.
23 on Waffle, jeez.
2.
2 on Strider.
On Dragon, because I'm still called that on that. I don't know why.
Dragon.
God damn. We're down tremendous right now.
Well.
Before Kiril, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, Kiril rolled a 6. It's all you, Waffle.
Can I, well, I don't know if, will Strider be taking his action first before the round of initiative starts, or?
Strider will, I would say.
Awesome.
Because it's kind of like a surprise thing.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if he doesn't, can I go to the bottom of the initiative list?
No.
I will do 2 great weapon master swings. So, take 5 off whatever I roll. So 20 should be good. And actually, screw all that. I'm going to sacrifice some HP to make both of those crits by hitting 20s. So this will cost me. The first one will cost me. It's 2 per, so 6 or 8, sorry. And the second one will cost me 4, so it's going to cost me 12 HP to do this.
Okay.
and both of them will be crits. So damage will be. You maximize your first dice, right?
Yeah, first die is always maximized.
Okay, so let me just roll normal in that case, for like both normal damage,
Okay.
and we add 10. I'll add it up for you.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna while you're calculating that up, I'm gonna add in some music. We're gonna get some real combat music for once.
And I forget, when you crit with a greatsword, let me check this just to be sure. Okay, it is a 46, so 2 of the d6s would be fulls, so that means that's 12 and 12. And because my weapon is a claymore, it has brutal. When I crit, I add 1 more damage dice of the weapon, so that's another set of 2d6s. So let me roll 2d6 2 times again. Unless brutal is just 1 more dice, but normally it's the set of dice.
Make sure that you portion out like how much goes to the first hit and how much goes to the second hit.
For sure. So first hit is going to be 20 plus 12. That's going to be 32 on the first. Oh, actually, sorry. 32 plus 5, so 37. And the second one will be 49.
Okay, so he's gonna use a legendary action
Sounds good.
called I couldn't think of another word to use this second one, so it sounds like a knockoff of Misty Step, but it's called Crimson Step. And you know how Kiril kind of moves between blood and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So he can use this for, I'm not going to say how many legendary action points, but to evade an attack.
Okay.
So
which one?
He's going
I guess
to
the 49?
appear. There's blood everywhere, so it's kind of just going to be like my sort of ruling. He's going to appear probably like here-ish. But yeah, the 49 one is negated.
Negated totally? Jesus. Okay. So he takes 37 then?
I already did it. Sounds good. Is that your turn? Or your action?
Yeah, I only have an action. I don't have movement on a surprise round, so that's it.
Okay, Waffle. We come over to the turn of Rubin, and Kiril has just evaded the second strike from Gabriel. Like the first one cleaved halfway into his arm, like halfway into the bone, and like so there's like a clear gash there where his arm was almost cut off from like halfway down his forearm towards his wrist, and then he just quickly vanished away from it, like a pool of blood just forming where there was, and him popping out from the ground behind you.
The withered blade is glowing a thick yellow, purple at this point.
Yeah.
As it's sucking my life away.
Rubin, think about your decisions carefully.
And as soon as he sees like Gabriel's sword swinging down, he moves to stand up. And by then it's too late, and in a flash, Kiril's already off somewhere else. His blade smacking the stone, and
Something like a spark with it.
yeah. And Rubin spins back around to see Kiril standing there, and I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
What do you got?
Cast a level 2 spell, Sense Lifeblood.
Okay.
And all it does is, let me expend 2 hit dice real quick. Oh, whatever, I can't do that yet. Essentially, I can see whether they're half or higher HP, which doesn't matter. But if I attack it, I roll 2 additional dice to deal bonus damage. And it's D10 plus my con mod for whatever those dice are.
Okay.
And that is a bonus action. And it's the first turn of combat, so I'm going to utilize it.
Damn, Rubin's standing with us.
I'm going to utilize it. I'm going to make 3 attacks against him.
Where is the third one coming from?
It is coming from Dread Ambusher.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Those are bad rolls.
Are you using Starseeker?
Yes.
It adds a
Also,
2 to that stuff.
Does favorite enemy affect a hit chance? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't believe it does.
What's your favorite enemy?
Beast and Fiends.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
I think it just gives like an advantage on tracking them and stuff. I don't think.
So
you get
16
Wait, favorite enemy?
Yeah.
If it's a revised ranger, he gets +2 damage to them. But I don't know if he's using revised or not.
Not the hit chance though. That's what I was asking. So 16, 9, and a 12.
All 3 of those miss.
Gotcha.
Like the first one he steps to the side, the second one he ducks, the third one he grabs the chain like mid-flight, like as it's about to hit him, like grabs the ball at the end.
Rubin, do you think that you can beat me? Do you think that you're at all powerful enough?
Maybe not, but we are.
I'm gonna, instead of answer, just kind of move closer on that chain up to him.
Okay.
And that is the conclusion of Rubin's turn.
Tamacti.
Tamacti will again reach his hand up to the bandolier on his chest and pluck out another gem.
Okay.
This one will say a pale blue.
Okay.
He will shout over sort of the din of the chaos of the city. Let the souls of those you have harmed come back to damn you! And he will cast Spirit Swarm.
Okay.
So he needs to, I can read off what that does.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Let's see. Spirit Swarm. You invite spirits to take their revenge upon a target. A creature that you can see within range must make a charisma saving throw. A creature with a charisma score of 2 or lower can't be affected by this spell, which I think is pretty funny. A target takes 8d8 psychic damage on a failed save and is frightened of you until the spell ends. On a successful save, a target takes half damage and is not frightened.
Okay.
It's a 5th level necromancy.
He rolled a 20 on the save.
He definitely passed.
God, this guy again.
But
He's good at charisma.
but this, I'm doing this purely because it just makes sense to me that Kiril is responsible for the death of like hundreds
lot
and
of people.
hundreds. I'm gonna say that he resists the fear, but the full damage still goes through.
Let's go.
Like, that just makes sense.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
So yeah, I guess just the sort of pale blue essence of all these
Yeah, they just like
all the
rise up out of the
souls,
ground.
yeah, from the bodies of those laying strewn, cut in half around, and
Yeah, and they're like coming through the buildings and through the ground and just like everywhere. Down off of the battlements where like guards were killed. Just tons of them, and they just like are swarming towards him. And he's like freaking out, swatting them like flies, like battering them away, and they're just like passing right through him and like hitting him and like grappling him, trying to choke him and stuff like this. And he takes 34. What kind of damage is that?
a psychic.
34 psychic. Got it.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to whip out a pistole and fire off a single shot at him.
Okay. Yeah, get that.
15. so
15
that
does not
misses.
hit. Sorry.
And then I'm going to move back to this.
Move away from where there's blood. Little slippery.
That little
slippery
whatever the hell this thing is, a little part.
What kind of
that-
crevice?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And we come back around to Kiril's turn. And Kiril is still grabbing onto this chain and Rubin moving forward with it. Kiril reaches one arm back and just like goes with this like bony kind of sinew muscle arm to just punch Rubin in the chest. That's gonna be an unarmed strike for an 18 to hit.
And an 18's my AC, so it beats.
Okay. I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Ooh, we know how good I am at those. A 12.
Okay, so you take 22 damage, a combination of
fuck.
a combination of bludgeoning and fire, as like embers are just sparking on his knuckles as the bony fist impacts your chest, and you are also now bleeding, which means that you cannot gain health from non-rests, but you can remake that Constitution save at the start of every one of your turns.
To stop my bleeding?
Yeah, to stop the bleeding.
Gotcha.
So you'll have to remember that.
Wow, that was a powerful hit. Does it like send me flying or something?
No, but he does immediately rear back and go to punch you again. But first he says,
Do you think that you defeated the beast? That it was you?
and he brings his fist back and slams it forward again for a 22 again to hit.
All right. 22 definitely hits me.
For 16 damage.
Sheesh. All right, hold on. Do some math, am I? All right.
And Kiril just brings back the fist, slams it into you again, like pulling the chain towards you as he does it. And he just like raises his voice and shouts,
Rubin, you fool! It was me! I called down the star!
and just like bam, right in the chest.
Goddamn.
And then he is going to bonus action. Yeah, bonus action. He's going to use Crimson Step again to appear not far away from Tamacti, but out of combat range, like direct combat range. And he's going to just mumble under his breath,
You're next, child of Moril.
before we come down to Strider's turn.
All right. First order of business. I will use my first action to. You hear my bones start cracking, and I'm going to shapeshift into a werewolf.
That's sick. I actually have something for that.
Wait, you have a token on Tailspire?
Yeah, no, but like absolutely.
Damn, I didn't know they had that. We came up.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just. There we go.
Insert bone-breaking noises into the podcast here.
Yeah. Player permission, Strider, and I'm just gonna get rid of the Gabriel token for now.
Sounds good.
But there you are.
Excellent. Okay. And once that is done, I will just, run. I'm essentially a giant white werewolf with a big-ass sword in my hand. I'm going to run over and, jump over this rubble thing.
Yeah,
and
like
make
running
it,
along the little broken half wall.
And I will use Action Surge to go again, because that cost my action to do that. First, healing potions on yours are bonus actions, right?
Our bonuses, yes.
Okay, I will drink one of my potions of healing, and in yours it's always max, right? I think the
Always
basic one
max,
is
so it's
12
10.
HP, or 10? Okay, got it. Roger that. And I will attack again with my greatsword.
Okay.
So, gonna roll that. And, didn't need to kill myself for this one. Okay,
Oh my
so
gosh.
3 times. So 2 natural crits, that was not expected. And the second one, so they're great weapon master swings. So the second one will miss. I'm not gonna sacrifice my HP to get to 20 from 5, because that's gonna be, that's gonna be a lot of health. But so these will hit for 20.
He's going to use that same legendary action to evade the second critical.
Sounds good. So first one will be plus 10 to that, and plus 10 to this one. So the second is the shittiest one. Thank God he dodged that one. So we have 27 plus 10, so we have 37 on the first and 28 on the second.
Wait,
Can't go back.
you said you weren't gonna.
What did I say?
So you attacked 3 times, right?
Yeah, the second one missed.
Yeah, second one missed. So he's evading the second one that hit.
Yeah, so
Like the,
so you actually, I forgot to roll an extra 2d6 because I have a brutal weapon I keep forgetting.
So if the second one missed and he's evading one that hit, you only do.
the 37 plus
Yeah.
the 9. So 37, 40.
No, actually, so the first
46.
one, the first one is 37 plus 9, so that's 46 for the first one. And the second one that hits, not the second one in the row, is 18 plus 10 plus 6. That's the one he dodges, that's 34.
I'm confused. I think there's a miscommunication.
Okay, go on.
So the first nat 20 hits.
Yes,
The second attack misses.
right.
The third one he is evading,
Yes.
so it doesn't hit.
Okay, so I was just calculating the damage anyway, but yeah, the third one, the one that I just calculated for 34, that one does not hit, so nothing. But the first one, I do hit him for 49.
Wait, let's see how far away is this? Yeah, it's gotta be up to 30 feet. So
Or 46, my mistake.
You good? You good?
We should have burned, if he does it again, I think he can't do another one, so I think we got him on the ropes.
Okay. Do you do anything else?
No.
So you go to swing with the first one. You catch him with a wild swing that like shears off. It's like it grazes from his shoulder, like left shoulder down to his wrist, and just like slices off everything that's like on the outside of the bone. Like all the muscles just cleave right off, and like a long strip of it is left there on the ground by you as he like vanishes into blood. Reappears holding his arm.
Why are you running?
As I see sort of the blood dripping from him, Tamacti's going to cast a reaction. Theft of Vitae, or Vitae, or however the hell you pronounce it. Vitae. And expend 2 hit dice to roll those hit dice, and the creature takes necrotic damage equal to the result. And then I gain a shit ton of temporary HP.
Okay. You said 2d6?
It'll be
It's his hit dice,
2d8.
2d8. 2 nat ones on both.
Damn.
Damn.
Alright, well,
and
it's
his
to a
resistance,
maximum, so it rolls the damage that he took from somebody else into it to a maximum of 25. So Gabriel already maxed out my my tip hit points anyway. So I gain. Oh wait, plus there we go. So I gain 25 temp HP.
That's nuts. That's actually pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
So that's the end of your turn, right, Strider?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And once again, Kiril's now just like, he's there, and as he reappears, he's almost fixated on Rubin, like this look like you let me down, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then he like flicks his eyes back over to like it's as if his right eye only goes off to Tamacti, and now his eyes are just like split, looking in different directions, like a chameleon. And we come over to Rubin. The city is burning around you. There are bodies littering the ground everywhere. And somewhere at the peak of this city is still the beast's massive antler that just fell and crushed into like the buildings. But you're down here fighting Kiril, someone who has until now kind of been like on your side the whole time, like rooting for you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
After receiving 2 massive blows to the chest for quite a bit of health, Rubin collapses down again. I'm gonna roll another con check to see if I can stop that bleeding.
Okay. Yep.
It's a
9.
9.
You're still bleeding.
Makes sense. Low roll.
Mhm.
Oh, fuck. Is there a measuring tool on here?
There is. M.
Why do I not have any M?
And then you can switch it pressing 2 to a line.
So each tile is what, 5 feet?
Yep.
10, 20. So that'd be 30.
That'd be 40. 6 would be 30.
40. Okay. So if I were to move here. Okay, I'm gonna move.
You can move one more tile if you were to go there.
Okay, how far is it from me to Kiril right now?
25 feet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna move this way. Kind of like just on the other side of the wall from Tamacti.
Gotcha.
And
Slam into the wall next to me.
yeah, he slams in the wall like Griffin with the bricks as he's holding his chest. Clearly already very fucked up from the first barrage of hits. And I'm gonna cast another spell. Stand by. Yeah, I'm gonna use one of my rubies.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast the Heartseeker spell.
Okay.
Which is... I need to make a ranged attack.
It would probably go off the highest, either wisdom, charisma, or intelligence, because dex, con, and strength are not spellcasting ability scores.
Yeah, I'd say
If
probably.
he's making a ranged spell attack, it needs to be a spell, like,
Yeah, I was gonna say probably wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so you essentially just roll wisdom plus your proficiency.
Yeah, 18.
That hits.
Hey, awesome.
I think that just hit on the money, too. On a hit, roll the dice, expend them, cast a spell. Damn, boy. How many dice did you...
So it increases its critical hit range from 19 or from 20 to 19 and 20.
Yeah, and let's see, make
God damn.
creature takes piercing damage equal to the result. So he takes 18 piercing plus 2d10 plus 2d10.
Because you roll your hit dice expended. How many dice did you spend to do this? 6?
Yeah.
And you have d10s, right? So the damage would be literally 6d10. You expend the hit dice, which is 6d10, and then you roll that in the chat, and whatever you get, that's the damage he takes.
Yeah. So let me roll.
And he's more vulnerable.
Plus the additional 2d10 from Bloodseeker.
Oh, okay, because you have another thing going on.
Or sense lifeblood. Because it's
Oh
anytime
yeah,
he
you're
takes
right.
damage.
You're right. Yeah. So it'd be total would be 8d10 then.
Yeah. So it'd be 8d10.
Woo!
46.
Ah, damn. That's a pretty good roll. We'll take it.
Con save for you would be what's your guys' proficiency?
3.
Plus 3.
So it'd be 14. Okay, just wanted to write that down so I know. So 46 damage. Okay.
And so yeah, Rubin's like stumbling back, holding against the wall, and the blood that's dripping out of him from Kiril's hit starts to coagulate and just flings at him like a spear.
Yeah, that's sick. Just like hardens into a single barb, launches out through the air, and it spikes into him like right in his pectoral, and slowly starts to sink into him, like just melting into him almost. That's pretty sick. Do you do anything else for your turn? He's also bloody.
That is just give me 1 second. Yeah, I can't heal myself, so that is the end of my turn.
Okay.
Actually, I want to use my. Can I use? It's bonus. No, it's action to dash, right? Not bonus.
It would be action to dash, correct.
Okay, and that was
Unless
my
you're a
action.
rogue.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not a
the,
rogue. Okay, yeah, then that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Then we come over to Tamacti. Tamacti, you guys are laying down some pretty serious damage. What do you do?
I can switch weapons as an incidental, correct?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, incidental is like going into an attack. Yeah.
So Tamakti's going to holster his 2 pistols, pull out his long gun, which hasn't seen a lot of use lately,
Correct.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
but is still as clean and pristine as ever. Tamacti treats his tools with respect.
It's got like sort of an ivory kind of wood, right?
It does, yeah. The wood on that is almost sort of like looks like a bleached, almost like driftwood, if you
Got
will,
it.
like sort of all the nutrients and life sap from it. And he is going to pull another crystal from his bandolier and almost sort of push it into the rifle, kind of melding it. And the crystal he's going to expend is the Bloodletter spell, which
Love to see it. I can
You love
post
to
it
see.
in that for you.
yeah, if you don't mind.
Hold on, let me give myself a spell slot real quick to cast it. There you go.
So you touch a non-magical weapon till the spell ends. You hit somebody with it, and then they get a real nasty wound.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty neat that it's not like you have to hit somebody with it. It's not like if you miss it, you're screwed. It's sort of like
Yeah.
next person you hit with it for up to a minute. That's pretty cool. And then he's going to level his rifle at Kiril there and pop off a shot. It's a 27.
Okay, 27 hits.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. He'll take 11 normal damage
Okay.
on top of the 2d6 that it takes at the beginning of its turn for the remainder of the spell's duration. So I guess, do you want me to keep track of that for you, or
Yes,
do
if you
wanna-
could. If you
Sure.
could.
Okay. And additionally, so one of my features is my sort of special attacks, my trick shots, as it were. And I was reading the description on it, and it doesn't say that you sort of activate them as a bonus action. It just says you can target a specific location on the foe's body. When making an attack with a firearm, you can spend a grip point. So I'm fine to do that as a bonus action if you'd like, or
It sounds like it's kind of just like an innate sort of decision
Yeah,
that
it's,
you make.
it's an innate thing. You spend your grit point, you waste a resource, but it doesn't cost you any
Sure.
like movement
Alrighty.
or whatever.
Well then, for Tamakti's second attack, he's going to try and shoot Kiril in the head.
Okay.
Let's see here. That misses.
A 12 does miss, sadly.
Okay, and then Tamakti is going to move. Let's see. I guess I can just count it out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here by this water well in case he gets cast on fire.
Okay.
Every time you move with your arrows, you sound like you're about to lose it.
What do you mean?
Like you're about to laugh hysterically.
It's just too much fun. All right, that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
I don't like whatever this is going on right here. This measuring of a dome.
Yeah. You're going out to get blasted
I'm
by
not a
something.
fan of that at all. Actually.
Kiril is going to cast at 4th level Fireball.
Called it.
And you let off this shot, and it kind of like just hits one of the bones that are sticking out, covering his pectoral, and just like ricochets off with with a twang, and like that little spinning sound of a ricochet.
He
And
takes
he,
8 necrotic damage at the start of his turn, by the way.
Yep, roger that.
He needs to roll a Constitution saving throw as well for Waffles' blood arrow thing, whatever.
Oh, that's true. He does.
Yeah.
So let me do that really quick. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls a 9. I'm gonna use a legendary resistance on that one.
God damn. Well, we burned one, fellas. There's probably 2 more.
So legendary resistance on that takes 8 necrotic. Okay.
Oh, I also just realized, point of clarification, that I don't think I had you roll a Constitution saving throw for Bloodletter either. You have to...
A 12.
Right, that fails.
Fails. I was gonna say probably fails. Okay, so he is casting Fireball, and where he's casting it, as you guys saw in my little
Everybody
measuring,
gets hit. Everybody,
covers
I get
everyone.
it. I get it.
So I need you guys to make a Dex saving throw for me, please.
Yeah, I'd like to receive a bonus to dive down this well.
Let me see how being a werewolf gives me a bonus. I don't remember.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm fucking dead.
That's
I rolled a 5.
That's a 27.
What's
27
this
makes
mean
it.
saving throws?
16.
No. I'm using the Wither and Half-Blade.
Oh, we doing it.
Anytime I make an attack throw, or attack roll, saving throw, or ability check, I may re-roll with a disadvantage. You must take the lower result. New roll is doing so. Cost player 1d4 hit points. So I will roll the hit point loss now.
You see Rubin start to wither away.
Yeah.
So he takes 2 damage,
And he needs to reroll.
and then he gets to roll twice, 2 more saving throws at
And he
disadvantage.
takes the lowest.
Just
yeah.
roll at disadvantage, right?
Yep. You just roll disadvantage. Come on, man.
A 10. So he took that 2 for nothing.
Now you're about to take like 40.
Take it again.
You so Tamacti, you take 12.
Okay.
Dude.
And so does Gabriel. You take 12 from the blast
Does that
of
mean I
the
take
fireballs. It
32?
explodes, and you take 25, Rubin.
I
Oh,
am
that's actually a bad
unconscious.
fire roll.
Where did you get 32 from?
I don't know. I don't.
Is that what you think?
I don't know, dude. Don't.
Go get it. Go get him up.
Unconscious.
Go get him up. I can handle this demon. He keeps running away from me, which
Get
means
him,
I'm on this.
get him up with what?
I don't fucking know.
I've used all my healing magic that I had
Oh,
on him
fuck.
when he slammed into those rocks and the other time. I don't remember what the hell he did, but
Yeah.
So now Kiril is going to move 40 feet away, and then bonus action to kind of use that crimson sort of step to move. He's gonna move 5 more tiles away,
And then cast death.
and it comes over to Strider's turn as he's like cackling, like muttering under his breath something along the lines of, "I'll see you in hell, Rubin."
I fail my saving throw. Is there a helpless non-player creature in my vicinity other than Kiril?
I would say that there's probably an injured individual.
I go to
that
kill him
is-
then.
Oh my god.
Because I have the savage hunt flaw and I'm losing my mind to the beast right now.
He's over here, just like on the ground.
Oh, but
Wait,
I
where's
am a little bit behind a wall and like some bushes.
No, you're a non-player. You're a player character. You don't count.
Oh.
So I literally go over there and I make an attack. As I'm like, I'm just losing it. I'm fucking full tilt sprint towards this poor guy. And he's on the ground, so I have advantage. He
It
gets
hits.
28.
I'd say he dies.
He
I'm not-
dies with
Yeah.
18. Okay.
Probably a Northman. That's like,
Where
help
to?
me up, please, help me up. And he's gonna be, like a little bit more up
Here's
the
the thing.
stairs.
Because the thing that was, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was pretty much all my movement to get here.
Mhm.
But I do get a 5 feet dash towards the target because like of this bloodlust. So I get essentially 1, 2. So I make it to him, but and I will attack again.
Mhm.
25.
25 hits, he's dead too.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's
I'm
my
not gonna
turn.
make you roll the damages on those. And all the while, this is just bringing glee to Kiril. It's like,
I'm
yes,
sure it
more
is.
blood. We come over to Rubin. Rubin, are you unconscious?
I am unconscious. I will make a death save.
Do you have healing potions on you, Rubin?
How do you do that on... Oh, okay, alright, hold on. Death
It said
save.
it said the sheet on the attribute. You failed.
I have a fail.
A fail indeed. So that's the first fail for Rubin. It's a shame because he could heal himself.
Yep. Yeah,
the thing is, I do have potions of healing. I have 4 of them, funny enough. The thing is, you can't really grab them from me because they're fused in my fur body, so...
Yeah, I don't have any. You should have given me one.
Yeah, I didn't really, like, you know...
Oh, well. Alright,
now I'm murdering civilians.
I guess that's the end of Rubin's turn.
Yeah,
I would say so. So it's now Tamacti's
I'm gonna
turn.
move 30 feet, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to
stop running away.
I'm going to pull out yet another crystal.
Oh, okay.
Yet another gem. This one a pure white.
Okay.
And as I pull it out, it sort of lights up the area around me. There's a faint glow around it. I'm going to crush it in my hands, and my body itself is going to begin to glow and crackle with pure storm energy. And I cast Ride the Lightning.
Oh, that's so sick. I love Ride the Lightning.
And I'm going to fly. It says 60 feet, or up to 60 feet. Okay, so I won't do 60 feet, like slam into a building, but I'm going to sort of sail directly through him.
Yeah.
And I guess end up here, or I can't really see because it's shadowy over there. I don't know if I'm standing on the building.
Yeah, no, you're
You're
not
on grass. You're on grass. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. So sail through him, and he takes 4d6 lightning damage. So I'll go ahead and roll that.
46.
Let's hope it's good. Could use it right now. If he's running away, that means he's on E, you know. We've been through him a
Damn,
little
that's
bit.
trash. So
That
12
is
lightning damage.
12
Actually
is
trash,
still damage though, and that puts you closer to him. Okay.
which is good.
Well, we'll see.
Well, if he stays to you, that means I can get closer to him. I can cleave my way to from civilian to civilian up to him.
Right. Yeah, that's what we want.
I know, right?
I'm not seeing any problems with this.
I'm going to... Fuck. I can't help but feel that this is a terrible idea, but I think I'm gonna stay here. Although I'm gonna switch as an incidental again. Actually, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
can I switch as an incidental back to my pistols,
Sure. Of course.
and then as a bonus action, fire the one in my left hand?
Yeah, sure. That's
All
like
right.
that's like part of. I think that's actually
It's
a
part of the
5e
class.
rule. Is like when you make an attack, when you declare that you're gonna make an attack with a weapon, incidental, you switch to it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that like Tamacti sort of like drops his like rifle into his right hand, like in Red Dead Redemption 2, because I've been playing that a lot lately, and then pulls out his pistol and fires it at this dang old demon
Right in the back
Oh,
too.
dude.
right in the back. That's a 21,
21 does hit.
My man.
11 damage.
11. What kind of damage is that? Piercing. Okay.
Yes.
Magical.
Does it look like that's been
Is it magical piercing?
Yes, because he casted a spell. And actually, that's only for his rifle. My mistake. Nope, it's not. I am correct.
I guess it isn't. I know I've got a thing that like turns my ammunition magical,
Oh, right.
but I don't think that's if your firearm is ready to fire, you can choose to spend one grit point to cast. Oh wait, no, that's not what it is. That's the flash reload.
Mhm.
That's a thing you said you liked because I like pull ammo out of the net, out of the ether.
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
But I didn't say that beforehand, so it is not.
Okay.
Do I notice now that I'm up close to him, like sort of watching the fucking musket ball impact? Does it look like he's taking less damage?
It looks like it just.
Like, does it seem like he's sort of
It's like halfway
his-
sticking out of his
his
flesh.
carapace
and
is-
it's like a sting on his back.
okay?
Like he definitely recoils from it a little bit, but he doesn't. It's it's not like entirely inside of him.
Yeah, I get you. And then I sort of smile, not like savagely, but Tamacti definitely is getting a bit of nostalgia from his demon killing days up in heaven,
Mm-hmm. That's pretty sick.
and that'll
Like
be
back
the,
when he had wings and
yeah.
and just was his hair like what better kept back then?
Oh
He had,
yeah,
like, a big-
absolutely. He didn't look nearly as homeless. And that will be the end of his turn.
Okay, and we come over to Kiril.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll his 2d6 necrotic.
Yep, go for it.
And have him make 2 con checks, please.
2 con checks, like ability
One-
checks or saves.
Or con save, sorry. One for Covert's thing, one for my thing.
Okay, a 6 for coverts
So
and a
still fail.
12 for yours. He's going to use another legendary resistance.
He,
On which?
On Waffles one, the
gotcha.
Heart Seeker. So he takes 8 necrotic. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that he can get out of Bloodletter by rolling. That's not something you can sort of like shake off, so to speak.
No, he can't shake it off, but he has to make a con save at the start of every turn to see if it burrows deeper.
What?
And then it goes away on 3 successful saves.
Oh.
On his turn, there's a sting on his back, and he's gonna make his way down there towards Gabriel.
Yeah, come get it. I relish in this, like raising the fucking glowing purple sword.
I can't remember whether I told you or not, but he takes an additional 8 necrotic. Can't remember whether I said that or just rolled it.
Yeah, he took it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
So he moves all the way over towards Gabriel and is going to attempt to punch him twice.
Sounds good.
With his unarmed strikes. And so the first one is a 14.
Nope.
And then a 26.
Yes.
And I need you to make a con save.
Sounds good. 8. Terrible.
Fails. So you are now bleeding. You cannot regain health other than like long
Sounds
rest
good.
and short rest. And so you take 20 damage, a combination of bludgeoning and fire.
I need to know how much is the bludgeoning because I have resistance.
The bludgeoning
werewolf.
is 2.
Okay. So only, and the rest is all fire?
Yeah. So you
Okay,
take
so
19 damage.
19 damage. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he's gonna hit you with that 19, and then bonus action, he is going to use his Crimson Step again. So he's gonna move. I'd say the nearest blood is probably like.
Probably the guy I just
Here.
murdered.
Yeah. Okay, so he appears behind you now, and
Sounds good.
and that's gonna be his turn. Like one of his eyes focused on you, and the other one like split over towards Rubin, and like only the left side of his face like turns up a grin. The other one is still like super serious.
Okay.
And it comes over to your turn.
Okay. I will turn. Oh, actually, wisdom saving throw. I fail, but he's the closest creature to me anyway, so run right towards him. And then an echo of another werewolf will spawn, and we'll tag team this boy. So
I'm gonna read the flaw really quick if you don't mind.
Sure thing.
It's called
No, I can read it for you. I have it right here. It is called Lust for the Hunt. So essentially, when I fail that check at the start of my turn, I fail automatically at full moon, which it is not. I must move towards the closest non-player creature that I can see, smell, or hear, prioritizing helpless creatures. And if I end my movement and no non-player creature is within 5 feet of me, then I need to dash towards one. And if there is one, aka this guy, and I have not used my action, I must make a melee attack against it. Once again, prioritizing helpless creatures. And if I made a melee creature, or if I made a melee attack against a creature and that creature is still alive, then I must use my bonus action to claw at it till it dies, pretty much.
Okay.
So Kiril is the closest creature that fits that criteria. So
Got
I
it.
will just go ape on him.
Such a cool fucking
Yes, sir.
flaw.
So we're gonna attack 3 times. 2 from me and 1 from the Echo using the Unleash Echo feature. So let's do those. Okay. So first one is a 10. Second one's a 13. Which one is he gonna dodge?
First one is a 10 second one. Oh, you mean, are you looking at the flat rolls?
Yes. If he's
Okay.
gonna dodge here.
Probably the 22, because it's the highest number that hits him.
Sounds good. Well, we're burning here, so fuck it. So I'm gonna take 59. I'm gonna take 20 HP away from me to crit on the first one. So I'm down that way. So
Okay.
first attack's gonna crit. He's gonna dodge the second one that hits anyway, so it doesn't do anything. The first one, however, will do that, plus another 2d6, plus the 10 from Great Weapon Master. So 38.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm just
Yeah,
there we
you
go.
got it.
That's a good one. So you said 38?
Yes, because he evades the second attack that connects. Is that his reaction, by the way?
It is a reaction, yes.
Okay. Is using the legendary action a reaction to the missed one? Just
That
wanna
is a
know.
reaction, yeah.
Because he can't do both of those in a turn, by the way.
Wait, sorry.
You only have one reaction a turn order.
You
So
know,
once
Well, and I thought you were asking if the Crimson Step like reaction to evade your attack is.
yeah, I'm asking for that, and if that Misty Step thingy, whatever the hell he does, if that also counts as like using a reaction.
Oh no, that was a bonus.
Okay.
It's
Just wanna
only
know.
if he does it on somebody else's turn. is it?
Yeah, gotcha. Understood. Okay, so that's me.
And at the end of your turn, then he, as part of that kind of evasion, he uses Crimson Step to move over towards Rubin. So he's now about 25 feet away from you, but only 10 feet away from the now down Rubin, who is sitting back ripe for the slaughter.
So how is he? I thought that Crimson Step thing was a bonus action. Is that a?
It is, but it can be done as a legendary action. As a
Oh.
reaction.
He is a legendary creature.
There's some backstory behind the character that you guys don't know yet. That I was hoping it'll probably pop up at some point. We'll see. Maybe he survives this. Who knows? Maybe
When
you
I
guys all
sever
die.
his head.
As he's standing over our corpses, explaining his big bad evil guy plan.
Yeah, because we're gonna die soon.
Yes.
Well, I was
You
already
see,
down.
it was my plan the whole time.
As we come out of Gabriel's turn, it's now
It's now death save time. Woo! Oh, yikes! It's a
Another
9.
two fails.
That is not good.
We might actually
It's
lose
2
Rubin.
fails. I may die here.
The thing is, we can't get him up even if we wanted to, because he has that stupid curse that he can't get healing from anything but short or long rest. So
That is
it doesn't
nuts.
matter. Even if I poured a potion down his throat, it would literally do nothing.
Am
I
I
guess-
still affected by bleeding if I'm unconscious?
Personally, I don't think that would be the case. I mean, it is like a physical thing, not like a magical thing, so you'd assume that the magic would wear off. But if it were, then it's actually broken because monks get it, or Undead's been using it on his character Amon for every fight constantly. And if that were the case that like NPCs could do it too, then that would actually make it kind of insane for when somebody gets down if they can't like.
They can't get back up. Yeah. I mean, your choice, obviously, but
I'm gonna say that this fight is already challenging enough that I'm not gonna like make that stretch because
Fair
and
enough.
and
We'll
that's gonna
take
be
it.
the precedent moving forward because I don't think that
Rules are rules.
yeah we're gonna rules that one.
Or rules are rules are rules.
yeah, for real.
Yeah. So you have failed your death saving throw. You're continuing to bleed out there on the ground, like gasping.
At this
shallow
point, it's not
breaths.
even. Yeah, it's not even gasping. It's like little gurgling as Rubin sat
I can't
upon.
believe
a
the Rubin's
pile of
actually
brick.
gonna die.
That's crazy.
It is now Tamacti's turn.
Can't help but feel partially responsible, but also his buddy was going to kill me and said he would, so, you know.
Instead, you're
Tamakti's going to holster his pistols and again pull out it. I guess he's only going to holster the one and just re-shoulder his rifle because he was holding his rifle to the side like Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've been playing a lot lately. And he's going to take aim again at the vague outline of Kiril's head. An attempt to headshot. That is a 20.
Trick shot.
20 hits. What does a headshot do for you?
So it'll take 14 damage, flat out, normally. And then he needs to make a Constitution saving throw or have disadvantage on all of his attacks made until the start of my next turn.
Oh wow,
He's probably gonna pass.
a 23.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a nat 19. Sorry.
Yep. Tamakti's going to sort of see it kind of bounce off the, I guess, like the plated bony armor of Kiril's head. Sort of grumble to himself about how tired he is of all these damn demons, wishing he had his double-bladed, double-headed spear way back when. And he's going to reach sort of and almost pluck a star seemingly out of the sky, kind of just bink and pull a little bit of aether energy rather, and load it into his rifle, making the ammunition sort of magical and deal force damage instead of normal piercing damage.
Oh.
And he's going to fire again, and it misses.
14 does miss, sadly.
With that, Tamakti's going to move. Let's see, and I believe that will be all he does for now.
Okay. Then Kiril is going to move up to
2d6 necrotic damage.
True.
And he has to
True,
roll
right.
a con save.
You want to roll that 2d6? Or you want me to?
10 damage.
10.
Pretty
Not
good.
bad, not
Pretty good.
bad.
Locking eyes with
Concept.
Tamakti, Oh yes, making con save. Thank you. A 17 naturally passes the Heartseeker, and thus the third successful save on it, the Heartseeker goes away.
That it does.
A shame.
Could have used that lowered crit threshold.
So, all that having been the case, everything that's happened so far, Rubin is on the ground. Gabriel is like, there's blood coming out of multiple wounds from him, and like broken bones, perhaps like ribs or maybe like arms, shoulder. Yeah. Who knows? But Kiril closes the gap, keeping an eye on Tamacti and an eye on Gabriel the whole way, and just comes running up and opens up with an unarmed strike off the bat. A 17.
Miss.
And then follows through with the second one. Like, it's an overhead swing, and you like duck under, and it looks like you're coming up to like bring forward another claw strike, and he rolls an 11 and misses with the second hit.
Yeah.
At which you bring a claw across, and it misses as he like sidesteps it, and he looks at at Tamacti, and like grabbing onto your clawed arm, Gabriel, he says in a hard and louder voice,
Child of Moriel, I will let you decide which one lives.
And it comes out of his turn to Gabriel's turn, and as a legendary action, he is going to make another unarmed strike against you. This one for a 21.
Hit.
For 24 damage, but the bludgeoning is actually 6 of it, so 21 damage.
Sounds good.
And just like lets go of your wrist and batters you down again. It's your turn.
I'm down horrendously right now. Well, I'm going to triple attack him again. That's all I got left. So screw it. Alright, once again, one fails me. 22. I guess I'll dodge one of those, whatever that is. Doesn't really matter. They both roll the same thing. Okay, damage. I cannot crit because I'm just too fucked. Sora, the first one is the big one. If you want to, it's going to be 27. Second one's going to be pretty mild at 19.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he like grabs onto your wrist.
Yeah.
And he has a very confident kind of look about him. Looking Tamacti in the eye with one eye, looking you in the eye with the other. And it's that exchange where he runs up, misses 2 strikes, you miss a strike, he grabs your claw, punches you again, battering you down, and you, I don't know, you're pretty beat up.
Seeing that blood drawn as well, Tamacti is going to smash his hands together, dragging a sort of fingernail across his palm, opening up a small wound next to the one that he'd opened up earlier, and he's going to cast as a reaction Theft of Vitae again.
I'm gonna leave it up to you to take that back if you would like to after I explain this.
Okay.
But if you'd like to follow through with it, it's all you. So, like, he grabs the wrist, batters you down, and you come up with a swing. I'm gonna let you narrate how it happens because it's possible that Kiril was a bit too overconfident and extended himself a bit too far, thinking that he was gonna be able to take you out with those 3 swings because you've done enough damage to kill him.
Oh my god. Okay. So punches me once in the face, and then, he thinks I'm out. He's looking at Tamacti pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Okay, spring up from, the legs, literally just pounce on him and shove my sword, in his chest, right? Just pierce him from until it's hilted on him. And then I'm jumping on top of his face, as the werewolf with my 2 hands extended, just grabbing his neck and, slamming him back on the floor. And I proceed to just literally eat his face until there's nothing left but blood. I'm lost now. I'm crazy.
And it leaves, that horse head kind of skeleton there that he has. Kiril has been defeated. Do you want to follow through with that still, Tamacti?
No, Tamacti's going to walk over to the corpse and he's going to reach down, sort of try and lay a calming hand on Gabriel's shoulder. And then with his other, he's going to reach down, and he's going to cast the cantrip calling card, and he's going to leave the mark of Moriel sort of burned, kind of with a faint glow,
on the chest of Kiril's corpse.
There's kind of like a flicker of a sound in your mind that sounds almost like a single like like a laugh. It's not from anyone around you, but it's like sort of an acknowledgement.
And then Tamacti is going to immediately get up and run to Rubin and begin trying to render first aid.
Okay.
Roll completely for me here. Okay, I'm good. So I'm going to step back from Kiril, because if I rolled below 10, I was literally just going to go on a rampage across the city till my transformation runs out, which is in like 6 hours. So that would be a lot of death. So I'm going to step back and like go into the tree here and like shrivel up in a fetus position and slowly transform back to myself. Just kind of stay there for a while.
And your armor is like dented and there's scratches across
I'm
it.
completely fucked. Like I'm bleeding from my face and shit.
And so as Tamacti is running over to administer aid to Rubin, it's gonna be kind of harsh. But I think that in that stop of him like coming by to leave that calling card, I think that would have covered the time that I need Rubin to make a third death saving throw.
You doomed him.
I had to do it for roleplay's sake.
It was sick too. I really loved it, honestly.
We're gonna use
Alright.
it. Die.
Let's see.
I'm biting my lip a little bit right now.
Yeah,
This is-
if I lose Rubin,
I don't want to click this button.
if I lose Rubin, I'm killing myself.
Oh my god.
He's
5. A third and final death saving throw. And so Tamacti, you make your way over to him probably in like a rush, I would assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get there, and Rubin is just on the ground in a small pool of blood, not moving.
I run and feel for a pulse.
You feel nothing.
Gabriel, we need to find the cleric now.
See, I'm like, well, if you look over by the tree, I'm like, you know, pretty much my knees are against my chest. So I'm sitting down. I'm kind of like, I'm looking off in the distance. I don't really seem to be like really aware of what's going on right now. I'm kind of like, I look like a vegetable essentially.
I'm going to cast message into your mind. Gabriel, I know you're in pain. Push it aside. Help me. That sort of rings through your mind.
I'm gonna say because I rolled pretty good on my wisdom saving throw, which was a crit. I'm gonna kind of, my eyes like blink and I stand up, you know, slow, and I'm gonna walk down kind of hastily at first, and then start running over when I see that Rubin's down. Everything kind of dawning back on me that Rubin did go down. What is he?
We have to find the cleric. They're the only ones that can save him now.
I am pick him up. I'm gonna pick up Rubin in my arms, and
And as you do, he's limp in your arms, still blood oozing out from his chest that's pretty much caved in.
is there a church in this town? One that is not on fire.
I'll say that due to Tamacti's history of traveling around the past half decade or so after being cast back down to the mortal plane, I'm gonna say, if you'll allow me, DM, that Tamacti's been to Castellor briefly once before, and so would have a vague memory of the layout of the city. He's not quite sure where he is in the city, but he knows where there is a church or a sanctuary of some kind. Perhaps you'd allow me to try and find it.
I think it makes sense with the backstory, and that I would allow you to do that.
Alrighty.
And you know that up at like the very top of the mound is this massive church, but you can't recall who it's dedicated to.
Doesn't matter right now.
Yeah.
We'll take any cleric we can.
I point sort of the city itself is kind of built onto
on a
less
hill.
of a hill and more of like a shire, which I think is a mix between a hill and a mountain. Up at the top, I don't know who they worship, but it's his only chance.
I take the Morning Star on the ground, making sure not to leave it behind because if Rubin gets back, he'll want this. And I start just full tilt sprinting with Rubin in my arms, like up the steps, and we're going up.
And every limb burns and aches with every stride and every step. And I imagine there's like a lot of grunting.
Yes. just biting my lips not to fucking scream in pain, but I gotta keep going.
And I'll actually put you guys up at the church because I think that'll
Sounds
just be
good.
easier. But you guys make your way up and up further deeper into the city. You see buildings that have caved in from the fires. You see loved ones outside cradling their dead that, who knows, maybe even they are the cause of, under the influence of the beast. And you see like blankets being draped over some individuals and just people like rocking on their heels, like in the fetal position, like just they can't believe how their whole life cemented here in this city was ruined so quickly. And unless you kind of stop to interact with any of them or say anything, then you make it all the way up to the top where the church is.
I know that I do not stop.
Sort of as we're just running through, I look at Gabriel. Tamacti will pay for this.
He's already paid.
And you guys make your way up, and the church door is actually already open.
Run inside, hopefully praying to someone, whoever that is, that there's someone here that can help us.
At the very kind of top, there's a massive building that is the church.
I run inside with the Rubin in tow. Cleric! I'm just yelling. Like, and I guess it echoes in this big-ass building.
You find what appears to be a handful of dead clerics strewn about.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Blood pooled on the ground. And sitting there in the center of the room, but you see a statue, and that I think Tamacti would recognize this. It possibly didn't register in your mind because it was something that had your devotion to Moriel was a recent thing, long before you came, or long after you had been here, and so at the time maybe you didn't pay it much mind or something like that. But there's a shrine to Moriel in the center of the room, candles still lit around, and this building doesn't seem to have been on fire. It's still in pretty good condition. It's just that all the clerics and priests and priestesses that were here are either missing or dead.
Quickly, place his body in front of the shrine.
I put him right there in front of the shrine as instructed. Are there hidden rooms here? Perhaps they would have hidden.
I do not know. Look around quickly.
I just start kind of running around aimlessly. My character is not familiar with churches at all. Pretty much never been to one. Oh my god, there's actually a fucking staircase heading down right here. I'm gonna run down.
Yeah, this map's nuts.
This map is nuts. It is.
Yeah, right?
The creativity behind some of the minds that build these Tailspire maps is just, it's unbelievable to me.
I also noticed it's
I
called
know.
the Red Mound, which is, I think, a really fitting name for
Right
what's
now,
taking
what's going
place.
on. For what's going on.
Tamacti is going to reach inside his pack and pull out two old and long neglected sort of prayer candles and place them one at the feet and one at the head of Rubin's body and light them. And then he's going to get on his knees in front of him and sort of place his hands flat on the chest of his fallen friend. Moriel, I know that I have no right to ask this, for I failed you and your charge to me. I succumbed to the presence of the beast, and in doing so shed the blood of many an innocent. And so I beseech you to help the one that took up that charge in my stead, the one that was able to temporarily stop the beast. I offer up my own life for his. Take my essence and let it flow through him. I cannot stop the beast. I cannot stop what is coming. I am too weak, but he is not. I know he is a follower of evil, but I see good in him, Moriel, and I believe that he can be changed. Please help me.
There is a moment where you find yourself in silence, and the candles in the room, they don't blow out, but they just cease to burn, and the room is cast into darkness. And there's almost like the feeling of a hand on your shoulder.
Is this what you want? Deep down, do you truly believe it?
Since coming to this plane, I have seen much suffering. And I believe that this man here can and will do much to ease that suffering, if he is helped to do so. If my life is what it takes to stop it, I give it gladly.
There's another lengthy pause. And then there's another feeling of a hand on your other shoulder, so that it feels like there's a hand on each of your shoulders now.
I believe you, child. I will do you a favor this once,
Thank you.
but from here on, you will be mine.
And there's a sharp pain in your back. It comes from just under each of your shoulder blades and inward a little bit towards your spine. It's a feeling like bones breaking and skin tearing, and you can hear like the wet squelch of your skin morphing. And it's accompanied by an oddly refreshing, cool breeze.
I look over my shoulders.
Describe what your wings would look like.
Tamacti's wings, the sort of, I guess, skeletal structure of them, would start at his back as sort of a dark kind of pitch black plumage, as would the feathers that branch off from them. And as they sort of reach out towards the wingtips, would slowly begin to turn sort of from a black to a dark charcoal gray, to a lighter gray, to a dirty white, and then finally to pure, clean white at the very end of the wingtips.
Mm-hmm.
And he would flex them sort of in an exploratory manner, like almost like someone that had not been on a bicycle for some time, and they say it's one of those things you never quite forget. It feels almost for a time like that sort of phantom limb syndrome, just something that Tamacti had lived with for a little while, trying to come to terms with the loss of his wings, sort of those two extra appendages, and now that he's regained them, can't quite believe it. And he lets that wonder almost consume him for a moment before turning his mind back to the task at hand and looking down at Rubin, checking for any signs of life.
Child, we have all made mistakes, and you own up to yours. You are not the first to be downcast. You will not be the last. Take your feathers and step outside. Bring your friend with you, and I will take care of this one.
I nod. I stand up, and I cast to Tamacti's right, sort of in a low, not a shout, but not quite inside voice volume either. Gabriel, please accompany me outside. There is work that must be done here that we cannot be present for.
I'm downstairs meanwhile. I guess like this whole thing like took a little bit, so I explore a bit down here.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anyone that I'm like yelling, priest?
There's actually one individual down there, and they are seemingly standing in front of what looks to be a coffin.
Oh shit. Run over. Excuse me. Are you a cleric? A priest of some sort?
You recognize the attire.
Hey, that's the Raven
right away.
court.
Not quite. It's just
Okay.
the token use.
Okay.
But you recognize the attire almost immediately, and as they turn to face you, you see a purple face of stars and purple glowing eyes. It's the disembodied from Morgon.
You again. What are you here for?
I am here for my own things. Leave. I have business to do.
What is that business?
He turns to the coffin again.
You're tempting me, man. If I wasn't so fucked up, I would dumpster him right now. I just kind of like, and I run outside, not having time for this.
And you run
After
up
like
the
I
flight
hear
of
the
stairs.
voice.
Yeah. And you run up the flight of stairs. The first thing that you probably notice if Tamacti has not yet left the room, if he's waiting for
The
Gabriel,
wings.
then you would see the wings.
They're sort of
Tucked in.
tucked in, kind of behind him, like almost like a cloak.
I kind of look for a second, and then I keep
Does
going.
Gabriel see anything behind me?
There's nothing there, no.
Okay. Do I turn around and look? Is there anything behind me that I can see?
No.
All right.
There's not.
Okay. Just wondering if maybe only I could see him or something. All right. I nod to Gabriel.
There's an agent of Morgan downstairs with a coffin of sorts.
I am confident anything foul taking place in these halls will be swiftly dealt with. Now come, we have to leave. It is what is best for Rubin.
All right, I just kind of, I was about to say something, but then I stopped talking. I follow him. I place the morning star on Rubin's chest as he lays down, and I head out.
Okay. And just for flavor, I'm going to, power game just a little bit.
Sure.
But as you are leaving the establishment, if either of you were to look over your shoulder, and
I
I'm
do.
hoping at least one of you does, that you would see a seraph standing over Rubin's body, and it's a figure of gold with 3 faces and 3 sets of wings, and the
Jesus
doors
Christ.
close on their own behind you.
I kind of look towards Tamacti. Who was that?
Tamacti would sort of smile beamingly.
That was an arch-seraph.
I look at your wings. I assume you spoke to him.
Yes, we spoke at some length. That is correct.
I just kind of give you a nod. Never thought I would see another seraph in my life after Rylon.
Indeed, it seems you are lucky.
Blessed and cursed.
As are we all.
I'm going to sit over there. I go to sit down against this wall here.
Tamacti would come and he would pull a maneuver that he did quite often when he either wanted to show off or didn't have a wall to lean against. He unfurls his wings and sort of arches them down, plants them in the ground, and then leans back against his wings as if there was a wall behind him. Even though there is a wall behind him, he's sort of just, I don't know, I guess, reveling in the feeling he has once again.
I look at Tamacti. So what now?
What do you mean?
What happens to Rubin?
I do not know.
Is he going to live?
I offered up my life for his. Moriel did not explicitly say no, but clearly I am still here. I am unsure. He merely requested that I grab you and that we leave the temple while he did his work, whatever that may be. I imagine presently he is probably communing with Rubin somewhat.
I see.
He cannot be helped if he does not want it.
I nod. I'm going to sleep for a little. Wake me if he comes out.
I will watch over you.
I kind of just easily collapse. It doesn't take too long. I'm like,
I hate you.
boy, I almost got killed. Not as bad as Rubin, but
Rubin, you awake, and there are a couple things that you find when you come back to your senses. First, you ache and sting all over. The second being that your chain is there with you, and you find yourself in a room that is entirely unlike where you had been outside when you were attacked by Kiril. The room is dark, and there are candles that are everywhere, and torches on the walls, sconces and stuff like that, but they're all out. And there's a gentle golden sort of glow from a figure standing before you. Your vision is blurry at first, and it sharpens very quickly. They have 3 sets of wings and 3 faces, like one on the front and then one on each side of their head. And they're in a lengthy robe. It's a very bright color, but now that it's glowing with radiant energy, it's hard to tell exactly what it is, whether it's white or tan or whatever. And the figure looks at you before kneeling down.
Welcome back to the land of the living, mortal.
As he starts to awaken, he sputters out a bloody cough into his helmet and feels around immediately for his chest where, it had recently been quite dented in from Kiril's hits. And slowly, as he sees more and more, his vision drags over to the figure that's standing over him, his voice low and strained. What? I was dead.
Yes,
Where am I?
you're in one of my shrines, a place from one of mine devoted in Castellar. It's nice to see that they kept it in such good shape. It's been a long time since I visited it.
Who are you?
Do not worry about who I am, child. Know that you are in good company. And though I disapprove of your faith, I couldn't ignore the plea of one of your friends. It was a show of faith that was grand, a willingness to sacrifice himself. I would cherish that if I were you.
They're alive. They won. and he moves to try and sit himself up, but fails the first time.
He brings down a hand, places it behind your back to help you sit up.
And with the Seraph's aid, manages to lift up enough to prop himself against this pillar in front of the shrine.
You will want to rest for some time. I will not help you through this pain. Let it be a reminder that you should be perhaps more cautious. I've spent now enough time on the ground. Believe it or not, my faith spreads wide across the continent, and there are others that I hear need me. So, I bid you farewell. Let them know that you appreciate them. Will you?
I do. I will.
Good.
And there's a flash of light. It's like he starts to glow brighter and brighter and brighter, so much that you need to squint and then shield your eyes, and all of a sudden it's gone. And you find yourself shrouded in darkness again.
For a good long moment after, Rubin will just sit there, not entirely able to move or sure what just happened or how to proceed, or even really where he is in the city. But eventually, when he can gather enough strength, he will try to lift himself to his feet, using the stones as sort of a crutch in a way, and then march towards the exit of the chapel, if that's even visible.
I think that the kind of like light that comes through the cracks at the bottom of the door give it away. The city is on fire still out there, and there's moonlight because now the darkness has been pulled back from Astoria.
With the, I guess, chain that was left for him dragging behind him, he slowly shuffles towards the door.
And you find that the chain is cold. It is much, much colder than it should naturally be, as if it's on ice, as if it's been frozen. And with each labored step, you make your way closer and closer to the door. And perhaps do you go to reach for the door handle?
Yeah, pretty much just trying to push it open or fumble into it.
As you start to fumble into it, it opens of its own accord. And there's a gentle breeze that comes along with it. And I don't know, maybe if you were stumbling into it, this could result in you kind of falling forward or something, but...
Definitely. He, as the door gives way as he's reaching out and sort of putting what weight he can into it, and finds no purchase, topples down onto his knees in the open doorway at the top of the steps.
As Tamacti sees the door sort of fly open and Rubin stumble forward, he's going to sort of leap forward and not even try and pick his friend up. He's just going to fucking wrap him in a hug.
And, he didn't even know Tamacti was on him before he got there. And he hisses, but clearly endures and pieces together that this is, in fact, Tamacti that has run up on him. And suddenly
back.
and Tamacti finds that Rubin is clutching him tighter and tighter.
Tamacti sort of turns over his shoulder. Gabriel, wake up, come see.
I get up. I kind of stomp over. Rubin, you live.
Thank you. Thank you. He mutters a couple times.
I just kind of nod. Could not have done it without you. How are you feeling?
Like a dead man.
Well, that makes two of us then.
You defeated Kiril.
I nod. He is good and dead, at least as much as I could make him.
I marked the corpse with the sign of memorial. I do not know what good, if any, that will do, but perhaps it will delay his return. I do not believe he is truly dead.
And he nods his head gently, trying to understand everything that's going on. How long was I gone?
A few minutes at most. We ran up here as soon as we could.
Perhaps half an hour or less. And before you volunteer any information about what it was you saw on the other side or what took place within the halls of this temple, that is for you and you alone to know. I do not want to hear it, and I'm sure neither does Gabriel.
I sort of turn and cast Gabriel a look like, don't ask him.
I just shake my head like, yes sir, no sir, I don't want to know. I have enough to deal with.
He falls back into silence again. His grip's still tight against Tamacti, but it's definitely loosened from what it was a moment ago.
Sure.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go see something. I tap you on the shoulder, Rubin, passing you. I'm gonna go see if that dude is still up to no good. Oh, he's right there. Whoops, ran right into him.
There's a shouting as you go to make your way into the cathedral, Gabriel, that comes from the path up the way that you guys came. Gabriel! Tamacti!
I turn around.
Yeah, I stop at the
Rubin!
door then.
We are here.
It's
I
Weasel.
shout out, Weasel.
Yeah. He's
Boy, I bet
he's
he's having a real hard time of it right now.
he's shaking a little bit. He seems a bit winded. Oh, there you are. We've been looking for you. There are scouts amongst the city scouring for the dead for you. You're all three okay?
We are alive.
Yes, we are all okay.
He kind of like collapses down on one knee, catching his breath, letting out heavy heaves. That's good. Thorgrim is dead.
I know.
We know.
I killed him.
It was not you, Gabriel. It was the beast, and it was the manipulations.
Tamacti stops himself.
Does not matter. I still feel it on my hands.
The merchants, the raid has failed. We don't know what to do next.
We must retreat to the camp. All of the leaders of the clans must meet. I fear that perhaps some of the more industrious may attempt a takeover of sorts. We cannot allow that to happen. If anything, what happened here hopefully will make the ones who are with us even more steadfast in the resolution. They have seen now what can happen if we do not stand together.
He gulps down some saliva. It's just dry and it's a real struggle and you can see it.
Weezer,
Okay.
you are strong. You have been strong. And your time for rest is almost here, but I have one final task for you if you are up for it. I need you to gather the scouts and tell them to meet us back at the forward camp.
I can do that.
Tell me, of the scouts in the city, how many of them are loyal to us?
His eyes wander to the side for a moment. He shakes his head just gently in thought, as if to say, like, how could I possibly know?
Truthfully, I'm not sure. Half of them are merchants.
Instruct the merchant scouts to hang back outside the outskirts of the camp. We may have need of them should anything go wrong.
There's a man from Limgri that's looking for you. He's treating the wounded right now. Said that you would know the name, Tabe.
Yes, Tabe. He is a friend. Where is he?
He's with the merchants in Limgri and the rest of the clans. Everyone's just a disorganized chaos right now. A single large clump.
Tamacti
There
nods.
are many wounded.
And we will head there, see what we can do to help the injured. Thank you for finding us, Weasel. It was very brave.
He nods once. Not as brave as you.
and he turns with another final nod for like very tired looking, but he's keeping it together, jogging off.
I turn to my two boys. Well, unless anyone has any objections, we should probably set off.
I need to find out what these Morgang rats were doing here.
Oh, very well.
There's actually a pair of figures that are approaching behind you guys from the red carpet.
Does
that
the
leads-
second looks like it was dead recently and brought back?
Indeed.
Indeed it does.
Their flesh is, you know, some of the light that's coming in from the burning city through the open doors now where you guys stand, and you know, the moonlight. It's hard to tell exactly, you know, what condition they're in, but their skin looks a lot paler than it should be, and there are gashes, like dark purple scars along from their right cheekbone down their jawline and all the way to their right collarbone, and then the rest of them is covered in a very old looking armor, something that does not seem like it's from this time.
Jesus.
And perched over their shoulders are a pair of wings, tattered and broken, missing feathers, and just a mess, like an animal that hasn't been cleaned, like matted and tufted. And it's walking in stride behind the disembodied figure as they're approaching towards the doorway.
What is this?
He does not seem to be intent on sharing.
He keeps in stride towards you, and upon getting about 10 feet away from you, he stops and he says,
This is what we came for.
But you left us, you and your clan.
He stays silent for a moment and resumes his stride.
You used the rest of the Northmen to sneak by here, while you ran with your tails. What a clan of cowards you are. Tell your leader if I ever see you in the north and we make it back here alive, I will exterminate your people.
You may try,
I will.
but we have this now.
I've taken tougher before. Now get out of my sight before I slice you two.
I watched the, I guess, zombified seraph as it walks past. Does it have any livery or regalia or anything that may clue me in as to who it may have been in its previous life or who it may have followed?
It, I think that because you're in a shrine of memorial, and
Probably assume.
that there
Yeah,
was I mean, you don't know that the coffin was downstairs, but it is definitely decorated in a very ornate set of plate armor, like full plate, from shoulders all the way down, no helmet though, and like long streaking black hair that goes down to his kind of lower back, very greasy hair, of course, but the armor is decorated in the symbols of Moriel.
Sort of reach out in my mind to Moriel. Who?
There's no response.
Does the seraph regard me at all, or any of us, or does it just sort of walk mechanically?
It if you would allow them to walk by, I don't know. Do you allow them to walk by?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that we're in a position to take
We're not.
another fight right now.
Then the disembodied kind of weaves between you guys as you clear from the door, and the reanimated seraph comes along behind them and offers you a curt nod after giving you kind of like a quick once over, and you see like this close to them now that their eyes are just like a silvery sort of gray.
I nod in return and speak to it in Celestial. Are you of your own mind, brother?
Glad to be born again.
It says.
As he walks away, who do you serve?
He kind of like turns his head over his shoulder, keeping stride behind this disembodied figure, and offers you a toothless smile.
No one is good around here.
And as they walk away and gain further distance from you, you find yourselves here, just three of you again, to the soothing, almost rhythmic sounds of a city on fire. And what do you do?
We need to head back to the camps. I will inform the other clans that Morgan has betrayed the North. If we ever make it out of here, maybe I will unleash the elementals on them. Who knows? I've not decided yet.
That is not something that can be done, Gabriel. I understand you are angry, but you know what the elementals can do.
We will decide that later.
The Morgongs are humans. They must be dealt with by humans.
Then I'll do it myself with the other werewolves.
Rubin's probably trailing behind a little bit more.
And so you guys make your way down the slopes, through the steps, through the streets where there are dead everywhere. And the city is still on fire, and you hear a couple crashes here and there in the distance of buildings that have been cinders, or been, burning to cinders, crashing in on themselves. A couple screams in the distance as people are finally finding still their loved ones as they begin to mourn.
I'm making my way back towards the same entrance we came from, because I'm looking for Thorgrim's body if it is still there. I assume Weasel had someone come pick it up, but just in case, I will go.
I'm gonna say that you do find it there.
Sounds good.
Not far from where you were fighting Kiril.
Very well. I will pick up Kiril and his weapon, or sorry, not Kiril, Thorgrim and his weapon, and start heading off outside the city.
Tamacti, Rubin.
As they do pass Kiril's body, right?
Yes.
And Rubin kind of catches a glimpse at it for the first time. A little bit of disbelief that this demon was killed, but
His demon best friend.
I wouldn't say he's particularly sad, but definitely gives him pause in his step while they're walking by.
As we walk past, Tamacti will sort of quicken his step for a moment to kind of stride with Rubin, and he'll place a hand on his shoulder. You showed much strength and resolve today, Rubin, and I want you to know that it is men like you that made me proud to walk this earth as a human. Tamacti will just sort of nod.
His helmet lifts from Kiril's body to look over towards Tamacti, who is standing beside him. Thank you. This means a lot to me. And thank you for defeating him. Something I could not do.
Something you could not do alone. I correct.
He nods his head once towards Tamacti.
Now come, let us make haste. I fear what we will find back at the camp.
To quicken his pace a little bit, I'm going to use all my lay on hands and heal myself.
You find that as you go to lay on hands, there's still the radiant energy there, that like red sort of sinister looking radiant energy. And it's almost like you have a moment where you're brought into your own mind and everything goes black. And in Tamacti's side of things, it happens in like a split instant. And so Rubin doesn't even break stride as he's healing himself. But Rubin, you are standing there in front of, in a completely black space, in front of a figure with a long, they're humanoid, but a long wicked halberd and a flaming helmet.
Ah, I know who this is. At first, there was a bit of confusion as he was like instinctively in mid-step and then stops and he looks around quickly to realize there's nothing around him and then zeroes in on this figure in front of him.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I prayed for the protection, and Kiril tried to end their lives. He deserved to die.
That he did. You were foolish to trust him, to take that weapon from him, without even speaking to me. Starsinker was his. It was made by me, for him. And he became too ambitious, gained too much strength, and thought to challenge me. I cursed him from ever using that weapon again. So he used you. It's useless now. You may cast it aside, do with it what you will. But it is nothing. And in time, it will crumble to dust.
And there's a long bout of silence from Rubin in response.
I will heal you this once, but now you are not mine.
And before you even have a chance to respond, you're brought back into the present moment, walking there in stride with Tamacti, healing yourself. And your bones begin to mend, and your flesh begins to seal.
For 15 HP.
Wonder if Kiril was Crow before. That was his weapon.
And Tamacti would probably see kind of stutter in Rubin's step, but it's easy to mistake it for nothing more than the fact that he was on death's door.
Mm-hmm.
And then he continues on wordlessly without a word. A bit more, I wouldn't say exactly lively, but less injured. His limp not nearly as strong, not really dragging his feet, but more so walking as they continue forward.
And if you guys don't do anything else, then it's only a matter of time until you arrive at the makeshift camp that is being formed, where the wounded Northmen are licking their wounds, and Limgree's priests and faithful are going about tending to the wounded in any way that they can, and merchants are wandering around portioning out these healing potions that they've collected from over their years of traveling and trading. It's unlikely that there would be enough, kind of quote unquote prayer energy to go around and heal everyone that's wounded today. It'll likely be at least a day before everyone is in moving condition, and the healing potions do not close that gap as well. They do a little bit, they help, but there's only so much to go around, and there are hundreds of Northmen. And you're approached, the first group that you would encounter are the scouts. They're somewhere between the city and the massive group of Northmen. They're kind of like in a clearing, and the scouts are just outside of the clearing in the tree line where you encounter them, and you can see the vast expanse of Northmen from the tree line where you are. And Weasel notices you guys first. I brought them, all of them, as you asked.
I looked at Tamacti since this was his plan. I'm just carrying Thorgrim. You have your scouts, Tamacti. Now what?
I turn to the scouts. It is best if you all hear this from us, and best if your fellow clansmen hear it from you.
Right.
Thorgrim is dead. He fell as a hero. I sort of look to Weasel, who I assume is the only one besides us that actually knows what happened to him.
Since he also killed him with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, his eyes sort of, like they rest on Gabriel carrying him, and then sort of, as you say that he died as a hero and focus on Weasel, his eyes trail further downward towards the ground.
We all were betrayed
by a being that the three of us placed some confidence in. He had laid a trap for us, dating back, I believe, even before we stepped foot off these boats. We did battle with him after learning of his betrayal, and during that battle, Thorgrim fell, giving his life to avenge the dead of all the clans. He will be remembered as a warrior, as a leader, as a hero of the North. I need you all to spread this message, to cast the despair from the hearts of your fellow clansmen, and know that their leader did not die in vain.
A couple of the scouts turn and wander off away from the edge of the woods, with heads kind of down a little bit. But one of the scouts steps forward, like kind of like pushing through the group of scouts, and points a finger at you from like a sort of low raised arm. You were the withered warriors. We were supposed to trust you, and you led us into this. You trusted something that would betray us. How are we to know that you know what to do moving forward? How are we to know that you are the figures that we can believe in? He looks like he wants to say more, and he kind of shakes his finger and grits his teeth a little bit.
You don't.
I turn to look at Gabriel.
You don't know, and you will never know. What you choose to do with that knowledge is yours. I never said I was going to force you to make or do anything. If you want to believe us and follow us after this, that is on you. And if you wish to leave, that is also on you.
His teeth clenched so hard they could crack. His jawline defined sharply in the moonlight, peeking through the trees. And you can see the glimmer of tears welling up in his eyes before he turns and pushes through the scouts to leave, back towards the rest of the Northmen.
The raid was my idea. If any of you wish to put any blame on anyone, let it be me. Tell that to your leaders. Tell that to your fellow Northmen. Now go. There's much work to be done. Gather the survivors. Weasel, I will need the leaders of the other clans, the ones who are alive at least. Gather them for me. I just start walking back towards camp, like dismissing whatever the fuck's left.
There's maybe about a dozen and a half or so of them left, and as you kind of start to move along, does Rubin or Tamacti do anything else?
Weasel, I sort of, as he walks away, kind of rush to catch up to him, and I grip him by the arm.
He turns to look over his shoulder at you. Wet streaks down his cheekbones to his jawline. It was my fault.
No, it was not. I need you to be strong for me. Weasel, I need you to be strong for the clan. I need you to be strong for the North.
It was my fault.
Was it a lie? Yes, partially. But he did die a hero, Weasel, and he did die a leader. That is what the clan must be made to believe if we are to get through the coming days. I need you to help me spin it. In time, it will become the truth.
Damn. His eyes drift down a little bit more as he gently nods, and he gulps down once and draws in a deep breath through his nose. I can do that.
Good.
For the good of the people, I can do that.
Then go.
And he turns and he moves away.
And then Tamacti will turn and go to catch up with his two comrades.
And sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and Rubin had been trailing along with Gabriel. He's sort of in his own world at the moment. A lot just happened that he's trying to rack his head around.
And as the three of you are moving away from the tree line, Tamacti catches up with you, and it's like, imagine the camera kind of like a shot from the back, where the trees are, and you guys getting further and further away from them, moving towards the Northmen. All
The log of shame.
Yeah, all perhaps kind of changed in one way or another, and that, I believe, is where we are going to end this session.
God damn it.
I want to have some time to think about the future before jumping right into it. And so I think
Jesus,
this is a
man.
good spot.
Fair enough.
That was a heavy session.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to make a new character.
Same
Yeah.
here.
I just want to say a huge shout out to our party fiends, some of our subscribers on our Patreon for fueling our recent giveaway. I know this is a weird sort of somber note to end the session on, and all of a sudden go into something a little bit more cheery or kind of this note, but we cannot thank our party fiends, Xeno and Stags, our party monsters, Cypher, Rook, and Happy Phoenix, our party person, Hop, and our party lurkers, Valentine, Blundig, and Windowman enough for the generous support that you have given us so far. Not only does it help pay for our art, and specifically the pixel art for Kiril, and a couple other characters, as well as our animated logos and our giveaways, but it's also definitely a vote of confidence that this is a podcast that you enjoy. So we hope that all of you listeners enjoyed this session. It's a bit of a heavier one, but I think it was long overdue. And if you listen to this podcast and you liked what you heard, consider giving us a thumbs up or a like or a review on whatever platform you're on. And finally, we have a message actually for one of our Patreon subscribers, Rook Shah, who requested that Rubin say something in a specific Rubin voice. Waffle, could you do that really quick?
Born to shit, forced to wipe.
And there it is.
I hate Rook.
Hopefully it brings up the mood just a little bit. Thank you all for being here and listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. As always, never split the party. Catch you next time. Bye.